Alright, this is the Colt Series 70 1911, and this is the 1911 that I use to represent the World War II 1911. Now, this is not an exact reproduction of the World War II 1911, but it pretty much is a 1911A1, so it represents the World War II 1911 good enough. And Colt actually did make a exact reproduction of the 1911 that would have been used in World War II, but it was a limited reproduction, and I've seen them sell for over $1,600, and they're very hard to find. So this represents the World War II 1911 good enough. And this also comes from the Colt Custom Shop, just like the World War I 1911, and it comes in the same box, the same blue box. Alright. And yeah, the 70 series, it pretty much is a 1911A1. And here's the manual. It's a Colt Government Model MK1V Series 70 Model O. Alright. It comes with two 7-round magazines. Pretty much the same magazines as the World War I, the same follower. And these would also be the same magazines that they would have used in World War II. Okay, on the bottom it says Colt 45 Auto, and there's a Colt horse. On the World War I 1911, on the magazines, it doesn't say anything on the bottom. And here it is. So, this is the Colt Series 70. It says Colt MK1V Series 70 Government Model 45 automatic caliber, and then there's the Colt horse right there. Okay. Yeah, pretty much a 1911A1. Okay. So it has the high ejection port. It has a short trigger. It has the raised mainspring housing, and the beaver tail grip safety is the A1 beaver tail grip safety. On the World War I, right here it's not extended as much. So when they put the A1 beaver tail grip safety, that pretty much did away with the hammer bite. It has your standard vertical serrations, and the sights, they are a little bit higher than the original 1911A1, like the one they would have used in World War II. They are a little bit higher, but they are just plain black sights. There's no white dots or anything. Alright. And standard thumb safety, standard magazine release, and here's the other magazine, same thing. There is no beveling on the magazine well, just like it would have been in World War II, but there is no lanyard loop. That is one thing that's missing. There's no lanyard loop on this. I've shot this probably just as much as the World War I 1911, you know, anywhere between 150 and 200 rounds, and I haven't had any issues with it, even with this type of magazine. No jams, nothing. You know, I ran perfectly. I haven't shot it in a while, but when I did shoot it, I had no issues with it. The barrel's blued, but the barrel hood is polished, and it says Colt 45 Auto. Really looks nice. And it has the nice shiny bluing on the sides, and then on the top it's a flat black, same with on the bottom. Okay, and right here on the frame by the trigger there's a cutout. If you remember on the World War I, there's a hard cut all the way around here. On the 1911A1, like the one used in World War II, this is cut out right here. Same on this side. It's cut out. The hammer is a little bit different. It's not as wide, and it's really not as comfortable. Okay, and it is polished on the side. Yeah, here's your standard thumb safety. Alright. Has a really nice trigger pull to it. It's really crisp. And it is very comfortable in the hand, but I still prefer the long trigger and the flat mainspring housing. For me, it's more comfortable. But this one isn't really too bad at all. I can shoot very accurately with it. So it's really not that much of an issue. But if I had the choice in a 1911 for real accurate shooting, I would prefer the long trigger and the flat mainspring housing. And the mainspring housing on this one is serrated, okay? And the trigger is also serrated. And that's pretty nice. Standard bushing, standard recoil plug, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Really nice grips. They're really dark rosewood, and they're checkered, and they're double diamond as well. The screws are flathead screws. Really nice grips. I like them a lot. Now the ones in World War II, the 1911 A1s that were used in World War II, they had brown plastic grips. Okay. So that is one difference. And they were also parkerized. This is blued. But now if you look at the Springfield 1911 A1, the GI model, they actually don't even make those anymore. But I had one a while ago, back in like 2000, I'm trying to think what year that would have been. 2011. I had a Springfield GI model, and that was a very close replica to the World War II. And it had a parkerized finish, and the barrel was parkerized, and it had the U.S. wooden grips, and I took those off and put brown plastic grips on it, and it looked identical to the World War II. But then I got rid of it, so I wanted another World War II 1911 for my collection, and I decided to go with a Colt because they used Colts in World War II, and I got the Series 70. You know, for me, it represents the World War II 1911 good enough. I know it's not exactly the same thing, but it's a 1911 A1, and that's all that really matters. In World War II, I believe they used Colt, Remington Rand, and they might have used Springfield. I'm not sure on that, but I know they used Springfield in World War I. World War I know it was Colt and Springfield. In World War II, it was definitely Colt and Remington Rand. But I'm not sure if Springfield used them in World War II. I'm pretty sure in World War II, Springfield mostly concentrated on the M1 Grands. But yeah, here's the Series 70. It's a really nice gun. I need to shoot it more. It's really nice to shoot, just like the World War I. The tolerances on it is very good. There's really no movement. There's a little bit more movement than there is on the World War I 1911 that I have, but it's really not bad at all, and the action's very smooth. It's like butter. No resistance at all. I love it. And this does not have the Series 80 firing pin block. This is a true Series 70, just like the ones in World War II. A lot of guys don't like the Series 80 firing pin block. I have a Series 80 1911, the model 1991, and that has the Series 80 firing pin block in it. It really doesn't give me any issues, but this is the original design, so that's nice. Just a really nice gun. I love it. Probably never going to get rid of it, and it's a really nice gun to have to represent the World War II 1911. You know, it's pretty much exactly a 1911 A1, and I'll probably do a video comparing this one to the World War I 1911 in the same video, so you can actually see the differences side by side. They look very similar, but there are differences. And this gun is about $1,000. It's pretty expensive. Right now, Auto Ordnance makes a 1911 A1, and it's very close to what the Springfield GI model would be, and that gun's around $500 or $600. But that would be a really good option to choose to represent the World War II 1911. But I wanted it to be a Colt. So now I have a Colt World War I 1911, and now I have a Colt World War II 1911. So they're both Colts, and that's what I wanted. And they're a lot more expensive, but it's worth it. It's really worth it. And the value on these things, really, it's like an investment. You're not going to lose your money as long as you take care of them. And the Series 70 is a very collectible gun. And it also comes from the custom shop. but it has a very beautiful dark bluing to it. It's gorgeous. But yeah, there it is. There's my World War II 1911 A1, and I love it. All right, and I hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving. See you soon.